Hi, if you're like me, you may occasionally forget to empty your trash or start filling up your hard drives by taking countless pictures during this holiday season. By using applescript and the iCal application, you can write a simple utility that will allow the computer to automatically check its own hard drive, empty the trash, and give you indications as to how your disk space is doing with the help of some pop-up windows. To start this off, what we're going to need to do is open up the applescript application. If you don't know how to get there, open up a new Finder window, go to your Applications folder, open up Utilities, and open the applescript editor. The applescript editor is shown here to the left in a dual pane application, which will allow you to type in some commands and get results on the bottom. The commands that we're going to be using today include 4 commands that are going to allow us to get information from the computer, set information on the computer, describe some output, and tell the application what to do. We're going to start off this script by telling the application called Finder something. The tell command is a container command and must at the bottom include an end tell. Without this end tell, the application will not compile correctly. I choose to write the end tell command first and work between the 2 lines so that I can debug the application as I'm writing it. Comments can be added in a container or outside of a container to assist you in letting yourself know what you had assigned initial variables for and what you intended to do within the application. So back to the tell command. We are going to tell the application finder to perform a task called empty. Empty tells Finder to empty the recycle bin. Next, we're going to get the name of every disk that's mounted on the computer, including any installation images or CDs or DVDs or Blu-rays that you have in your computer, and assign it to a variable that I called MyVolumes. Then we're going to count the disks on the system and assign it to a variable I called MyDiskCount. That's going to be used to perform individual operations on each disk later on in this application. Next, we are going to display some content, just giving me the names of the volumes and the number of disks that I counted. This command can be commented out later on during your development process. At this point in time, however, you can compile this application to verify that you do not have any errors, and then run this application, and it will give you the disks that it found and the disk count. After that, I'm going to use another container command called repeat, where I'm going to use a variable called I and assign it with a numerical value starting from 1 and ending with the total number of disks that I have in the system. In this case, I have 2. I choose to end the repeat container now, again for debugging purposes, so that I can run the application without errors. I'm going to find the amount of free space that I have on the disk, and again, if you look at the end of the command, you'll see disk I. That's just going from 1 to the number of disks that I have, and assigning it counting the free space and assigning it to a variable I'm calling MyDiskSpace. I'm then going to find the capacity of the disk and assign it to a variable I call MyDiskSize. Once again, I choose to have a pop-up window, and these are the windows that you're going to want having remained in this script, just telling you that the disk number has a certain number of space and a certain number of size remaining. We're going to end the repeat, it's going to go to 2, run the commands again, and then it is going to end. So looking at our window again, I have already saved this application, so I'm going to open the recent. and have it here. I'm going to check for any errors that I may have in here. So I'm counting the number of disks and assigning free space to the space and capacity to size. Space and size. This command should work. So if all runs well, we should be able to use this script that I've called cleanup2, run it, and it should pop up a window stating that it has trying to empty the trash. Okay, it's emptied the trash, and it found something called Elements, my Western Digital External, and the internal drive on my Macintosh, and it found 2 disks. In this case, it's indicating that what is calling disk 1 has 849 gigs of a 1.5 terabyte drive remaining. So we'll open up, we'll click out of there, and in this case it's telling me that I've got 12 megs of a 250 gig hard drive remaining. So I'm going to have to do some cleanup later on tonight. So let's just compare that with the number we got. We do a get info, and sure enough, 849 gigs are available on a 1.5 terabyte drive. So the script has worked properly. We have a script called cleanup2 saved in a folder called scripts. The next thing we want to do is open up the iCal application. We're going to go to iCal, and today is now the 20th. So we are going to create a new event. I'm going to get info, and we can call this event, well, let's get info on it and rename the event. We're going to call the event cleanup. And here are the interesting steps that you're going to need to take. You don't need to show yourself as busy. You can set that to free. What you're going to want to do is repeat this every week. Now, ordinarily, I would assign this to, say, Sunday night for when I have to be back at work on a Monday morning. And I'm going to end it never. So it's going to repeat every week. It's going to be shown as free. I don't care about the extenders. I do, however, want to add, let's see here, cancel. And I'm going to want to use the alarm command to run a script. Now it's going to ask me for the name of my script. And I'm going to click on the Documents folder. And I'm going to go into the Scripts folder, and I'm going to choose the Cleanup2 script. I'm going to select this script to run. Now, the other thing I want to do is tell it to run from 12:04. Let's see if we can catch this. And see if we can save that. So it's 12:03 now. At 12:04, I'm going to drag some things into the trash. Okay, we've got some junk folders in the trash. You'll see that the cleanup script is scheduled to run at 12:04 every week until you tell it to stop. So here we are, January, February, March, April. Everything is here. Now, while we're waiting for this to run, either that or I didn't catch it, you can realize that these commands can be done at any time, convenient for your schedule, and be set to run all year. They can also be performed in numerous ways. You can use Apple scripting to back up a drive, but why bother when you have Time Machine? Maybe we didn't catch that. Now this command should be run rather quickly to 1207. And I will set this to I'm going to change all the events, 1207. And again, this is going to run the script called cleanup2, and it's not showing me as busy during the schedule. This type of work could also be done using shell scripting through the X application using the cron command. So there are numerous ways of actually doing what we're describing here. This is just one way that you may choose to do this. So I hope you've enjoyed this script. If you do, please like this, and I will try to post the code for you in the description of this video.